Hello, I have Marja from Slovenia here. Hello, Marja.
Hello, Itka. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Can you tell me what is it like with the coronavirus in Slovenia?
Yes, well, coronavirus has started in the beginning of the March. We had the first corona case on 4th of March, and after that, some precautions were made. For instance, from the same day, I think, there was restraining of all performances and public gatherings. But then on 12th of March, government proclaimed epidemic, so they started to close down all the restaurants, bars, schools, libraries, museums, and offices, as well as shops, except those for food. So only food shops were opened and pharmacies and post offices. All the other things were closed down. So people had to work from home, children learned online, so everything was closed down, and we really stick to those rules. And since 14th of March, we have been in quarantine, and we go outside only to go to shop or to pharmacy, but of course we can go to walks too. Because walking and going in the nature is still allowed, or was allowed. We were really lucky we could go outside, but we had to walk only in the borders of our municipality, so only in our city or little town. And in Slovenia we have lots of municipalities. Some are big and some are very small. For example, I live in capital, so we have very big municipality. We could go into the nature and walk around the city, but of course we more or less stayed at home. But there was a problem, because in some municipalities they have only one small shop, or even not a shop. So people had to have a really good excuse to go outside the borders of their municipality. So if you wanted to go to the shop, you had to have a special permission to go to the shop. Actually, you just could say that you are going. You could say that you are going to a shop, or you are going to a pharmacy. But it was pretty, very uneasy situation, because if policemen stopped you, policeman can say, no, this is not a good excuse, but of course, if you want to have some food or medicine, of course, this is a good reason to go outside of the borders of your municipality. But it was good that at the end of April, they canceled this rule. So now we can go all around Slovenia without any problems or whatever. Um, so now we are in mid of May, more or less, and very strict rules, which have been up since 14th of March, have been loosened, and it's more easy to live, I would say. Um, I must say that in Slovenia, well, we are a very small country. We have only 2 million inhabitants, 2 million persons, and we really stick to the rules of this coronavirus, actually, government rules. That's why we had only we had um, up until now only 1,100 coronavirus cases, which is not that much, and only 100 people have died until now. So since the more or less 1st of May, each day we have like up to 3 or 4 new cases. And before we had, I think 50 was the highest number, or something like that. So the biggest problem was that people in retirement homes got sick, you know. There were 3 places in Slovenia, 3 little towns where they have these retirement homes, and lots of people from retirement homes got ill, even though there were people from outside were not allowed to go inside. Old people are the most the yeah the difficult
Yeah.
generation to deal with this corona thing. So I hope that now it's getting better and better. Of course, we are very positive. Things have been, as I said, things have been loosened. Every day something new opens. Like a week ago, bars have started to operate, and hairdressers, and some other shops, some other little shops, not just food shops. Just today, there is a public transportation again. Before we didn't have any public transportation, so you had to go by your car yeah, or on foot or on bicycle. Um, but today, public transportation has been established again, so that's good. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and next week, from the 18th of May, schools and kindergartens are getting opened, except that schools will get open only for children from the first, second, and third grade, and the last grade of high school. So because they have matura, the last exam, you know, and it's very important for them to pass that exam. Um, yeah, and in schools we have all kinds of restrictions and so on, but yeah, I hope the children are looking forward to that, and to teachers too.
I think
So
spending over two, I think it will be over 2 months at home. It's quite difficult, so it
yeah,
would be nice to have change.
yeah, 2 months at home. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
And
will be. Yeah.
what about masks? Did you have to wear a mask at any point?
Yeah, when they closed the shops, you were allowed to go inside only if you wear a mask and gloves. But then they have canceled these gloves. And but when we step into the shop, we have to use hand sanitizer. So every shop has hand sanitizers, and also police. The post office has everywhere where you go, they have hand sanitizers, but you still need to wear masks everywhere you go, except outside, of course. I mean, when we walk outside, we don't have to wear, only in the shops and post offices and so on, pharmacies and so on.
Mhm.
And also now, with the public transportation, there are also strict rules. You need to have a mask, and you can sit only in places where it is allowed to sit, because they have, you know, these signs where you can sit or whether you cannot sit, because there should be a distance between people um, in the public transportation, or everywhere actually. So yeah, masks are
Mhm.
obligatory.
And what about the borders? Are they still closed?
Yeah, the borders are still closed, and I think there is still the rule, if you come from outside, if you have this chance that you come inside Slovenia, you have to be 14 days at home. You have to stick to 14 days quarantine. So every now and then, you know, people from abroad can come, or there is transportation from other countries, you know, with these special planes and so on, but they have to be at home for 14 days, and they shouldn't go anywhere else. So yeah, um,
And
but
what about in the beginning? Was there anything like panic shopping, people
oh
crazily
yeah.
buying toilet paper?
Yeah, actually that was even before we got the first case, because Italy is our neighbor. We have the same border, and you know, lots of people went for winter holiday to ski in the Italy, and they came back, and nobody knew that. Nobody knew if they are ill or not. So even before we had the first case, so that was even at the end of February, people started to buy things, and to get to really buy things. Yeah, we could buy toilet paper, so there were no problem with toilet paper, but there was lack of yeast, the thing that
Yes,
you make
okay.
bread of. Yeah, yeast was like disappearing from all the shops. And even
Interesting.
after, yeah, because people like to bake bread at home. I mean, yeah, people know how to bake bread, and that's very self-sufficient thinking. We have to have flour and we have to have yeast to make bread, and if we have bread, that's okay, that's perfect. We don't need anything else. At least we have bread. So yeast was the biggest problem, actually. Yeah. Otherwise, no, it wasn't quite panic or anything, except that I heard that at the beginning of well, in the middle of the quarantine, like in the end of March, when there was no transportation from other countries and so on, they were missing some things which were imported, like exotic fruits, or I don't know, some kind of exotic things. But that's not really essential. You can live without exotic fruits or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
that's manageable.
Otherwise, people really stick to that rule that you should go to the shop only when you really, really need something. Um, so it wasn't, that big deal, actually.
Okay, so thank you very much for coming here to tell me about the situation in Slovenia. It was great to have you here.
Welcome. Thank you for hosting me. Thank you.
Thank you very much and bye bye.
Bye bye. See you. Bye.
Bye.